All right, big 3, 2, 1 boom for you there. By the way, sometimes this works in Vegas. That's the old 3, 2, 1 works every time. Boom. Uh, this would be Energy Boom 101, but I think we're going to call it KBRL. KBRL, the new radio station that we are launching a joint venture with Rupert Murdoch and Rupert Holmes, actually, believe it or not. And I think Rupert from Stewie's buddy from Family Guy. But you're looking at Boom U, and this is sort of the summer simmer of Boom U. It's not in school right now, so it's not going nuts. So it's not booming, but it's we've decided to label it Boom U. We've got a bias that we believe is unfurling right here, a big energy boom, and we want to report on it. It's early right now, so pardon me. We're clearing the cobwebs here at Energy Boom 101, which now today is K-Barrel. Here at KBRL, we'll be playing your favorite hits, and we'll be talking about energy news. And then we'll be asking silly questions. And we're going to see if we can find also any cannabis news. We have exhaustive research methods that include going to the local store and buying 2 newspapers. Here's one of them, Daily Oklahoman. Watch this. Boom, there it is, the Oklahoman. Business page, carefully cropped it against Boom U in the background. And then the other one, of course, Wall Street Journal. So you buy one of these each day and you just read it and you sort of see what you can put together about this energy boom that's going on in the United States, how long it will last, how it will affect this little town I'm in right here, right now. And then you'll also find stories about the cannabis boom that's going on. And we're going to do our best to keep up with all that. And it's we have some natural prompters that let us know when our time is up. We know that the kids out there don't like to hold their focus for more than about 27 hours, which is actually getting better. We've got 15 minutes, we were told by the attorneys, and we're going to use all 15 of them. But we have the bells of Boom U in the background to prompt us when it's time to wrap it up. And we think you'll appreciate that little touch. The bells are a lovely little touch here at Boom U that President Debo, street name Debo, President Bourne of Boom U, has brought in. It's a nice touch. It's part of the bubble and the buzz of the boom. You're going to hear a lot of words starting with B. That's just alliteration for you. By the way, Boom U here can start to take on the look and the feel of a Thomas Dolby video at times, and we will do our best to capture that. In the meantime, I think it's okay if we just jump right into the newspaper and sort of see what's going on. We're going to look in the business section first off, and I guarantee we'll find some energy news, and then we'll do our best to dissect it. I'd read you an entire article because I think it's worthy, but I'm just going to tell you to go read it, and I'll give you the breakdown on it. But if you'll check out, and this is a plug here for the Oklahoman. So if anyone out there is listening, we're happy to be letting the world know that we're using you as a resource. Right here. This is Friday, June 20th right here. Oklahoman. Turmoil across Iraq causes U.S. gasoline prices to spike. Yes. I guess that'll happen. What I'd recommend you do is read this article right here by this lovely feller, Adam Wilmoth. The article's titled Geopolitical Issues, not issues, issues, geopolitical issues affect oil as global commodity. It's a great way to get a really, really good overview of how oil has worked its way into our society, our culture, our economics, our everything, and how it seems to sort of lead the way to some degree. So I would recommend everyone read this gentleman's article. It'll give you a great overview. And we'll even wrap up a little something over here. Here's a little headline. Check this out. Gas to be more expensive, but shouldn't exceed 2011-2012 highs. Now, no one knows really where the price of gas is going to go a whole lot. I'm a little concerned that the Oklahoman would put the word high in one of their headlines, and you see it right there. So not that we want to implicate the Oklahoman for wanting to encourage the use of cannabis, but I think one could make that argument perhaps. Probably not, but let's get back to the real story here, which is oil and gas at KBRL, where it's about 52 minutes past the hour here at Boom U. We're waking up the day. with the summer sizzle of the bubble and buzz. When we come back here in the fall, I can assure you this will look totally different. It will feel, it will sound, it will be totally different. What we're hoping to do is chronicle the entire Boom's arrival and unfurling at Boom U, as well as downtown Norman, as well as the state of Oklahoma, as well as the United States, as well as the world. And we've got a variety of maps to keep up with that. In the meantime, let's get on with a little more news here. By the way, I got to tell you, I like the colors and I like the layout of the Oklahoman. It's a little busy, it's a little USA Today-ish, but it's still an old school newspaper, and I love the splash of green. That's my thought. That said, let's dig into the real stuff here. Let's see what's going on when you really dig down deep. Like, here's something really interesting. Officials in a Texas gas town consider vote to ban fracking. Denton, Texas. That's All-American Denton, Texas. Officials there are considering a vote to ban fracking. That's probably a pretty big deal. Looking at it culturally, it's surprising. And if you want to read about it, knock yourself out. Let's see. Here's something interesting. Talk about there's always a price for the energy we gather, folks. Always, always a price. Look at this. Right here. Group sues over eagle deaths and new federal rule. Interesting. I'm just going to read you. This is from the AP by Dina Capello out of Washington. A conservation group sued the Obama administration Thursday over a new federal rule that allows wind energy companies to seek approval to kill or injure eagles for 30 years. Point, please take this point home with you when you go to bed tonight and say your prayers to whatever is up there, or probably is more within you. There's always a price we're going to pay for damn near anything we do, and I think the point is to share the knowledge, which is the same thing as science, by the way, and come up with the best ways to create the greater good and to reduce the collateral damage. So let's keep in mind that there's nothing that's absolutely pure and clean out there. We're all tainted a bit with the human condition. Let's run with it. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the top here. You got a little energy update here. Look at this. Duke Energy was warned about pipe before huge coal ash spill. Great. I don't give a frog's fat ass. Someone else want to read it? Go right ahead. Plugging in. Don't you love that? Plugging in. A little play on words there. Look at this. And now I'm going to let you guys check out Boom U while I give you some of the latest. Columbia Oil President Darlene Wallace has been named Member of the Year by the Oklahoma Independent Petroleum Association. Now that's pretty wicked. Wallace took the reins of the Seminole-based company in 2005 after the death of her husband, Dan. Okay, so we have we have an oil woman, or do you say an oil lady, or do you say whatever? But it's, instead of an oil woman, you get an oil woman here. Darlene Wallace, oil woman running Columbus Oil, Seminole-based Columbus Oil. She joined the Wildcatters Club and later served on the board of directors. She said she joined to learn about the industry. I knew nothing. I was a stay-at-wife home. I realized I had to get involved. This is important to my business, my industry, and my life. Wow. This is pretty interesting. We should maybe interview this lady who went from, and I quote, stay-at-home wife to head of oil company. By the way, that's Boom U in the background. Those are the bells of Boom U in the background. Ask not for whom they toll. Simply offer them the respect that they deserve. But you can still converse while it's going on. By the way, there's serious talent, Boom U. The cat talent now. Let's continue with Boom U, the bells of Boom U, providing the gentle summer sizzle of the bubble and buzz of the boom in the background, and a few more bees for you. Let's continue with this glorious article. We just discovered a oil woman, Darlene Wallace, Columbus Oil. There's also an article in here about Panhandle Oil that closes a Texas deal. So Panhandle Oil, which I think is out of Oklahoma City, closed some big Texas deal. Here in the patch, they're closing deals. So let's read about this. Panhandle Oil and Gas this week closed on its acquisition of assets in South Texas' oil-rich Eagle Ford Shale. Wow. The Oklahoma City-based company spent $80 million to acquire a 16% non-operated working interest in more than 11,000 gross acres of leasehold. That's gross acres. That includes 63 producing wells and 109 undeveloped locations. It's getting crazy here, Boom U. You've got competition between the CART right there, which is compressed natural gas run CART here at Boom U, the bells of Boom U, and my excitement about Panhandle Oil paying $80 million for a shitload of wells in the Eagle Ford, and we might be able to figure out how this is going to work for them, because Panhandle Oil is publicly traded, but they don't really make their money by doing exploration and production. They make their money by buying into producing wells. So we'll continue with this article as the Bells continue to provide their glorious background. So it says Panhandle spent $80 million. They got 16% non-operating, so they don't work the wells, 16% interest in more than 11,000 gross acres of leasehold that includes 63 producing wells and 109 undeveloped locations. Another well currently is being drilled by operator Cheyenne Petroleum, a private Oklahoma City firm. Panhandle also increased its bank credit facility to $200 million, with the current borrowing base set at $130 million. Okay, so someone's letting Panhandle now borrow $200 million. They're getting ready to, they just paid $80 million for 63 producing and 109 undeveloped locations in the Eagle Ford. Let's see. There's a lot of dots you can connect here, and that's just with Panhandle. That's just one deal happening here in the patch. So get up there and get crazy, kids. Here's another great thing. And we're just going to show you the headline because we still got 4 minutes to ramble. Where'd those bastards go? There they are, Newfield. Newfield to open Okarche office. This is old school oil patch. Newfield Exploration, who, by the way, the Bells of Boom, you can last for 27 hours if they want to. That's just Bourne playing games. He's just having fun. Lee Maloney's having fun. Newfield Exploration will open an office in Okarche next week to serve its operations in western Oklahoma. Newfield is drilling the Scoop, along with a few other places. And they do have plugs here to Boom U, by the way. They are connected to Boom U. I think there's a building here at Boom U named after Newfield Exploration. If not, then don't listen to what I have to say. But we will attempt to do some research and confirm that. Let me complete this article, though. It's really interesting. Newfield Exploration will open an office in Okarche. Folks, you want to go to Okarche and get you some Ishans next week to serve its operations in western Oklahoma. The Texas-based company, forget what I just said, I think Newfield's out of Texas. I still think they have ties to Oklahoma, though. It says the Texas-based company initially will have 10 production employees based in Okarche, but it plans to boost that number as its exploration and production activities in the area increase. Wow, I bet we can measure a boom here. We're going to say that we're measuring the start of a boom in Okarche with 10 brand new employees from Newfield that's going to grow as their exploration and production grows. So there's going to be a little field spot for us to check in with, is Newfield Exploration in Okarche, and how their operation is doing, and if they're growing and bringing in more employees. We're going to connect the dots here in Oklahoma for you. And then probably lose all your money invested in GMX. But seriously, folks, let's go here. The new office covers about 12,000 square feet on 80 acres. Nice little campus. And it's owned by Newfield. The company currently has 3 drilling rigs operating in the nearby Stack play. Don't you love this? Stack. S-T-A-C-K. Think of a stack of pancakes. So we also know that Newfield's using 3 rigs. But it will double that figure by next year. Oh shit, here comes 6 rigs. Let's start measuring the boom. Newfield and Okarche gets boom measurement. It expects to produce 14.3 million barrels of oil equivalent this year from the Anadarko Basin, which includes the Stack and the Scoop. I know these things are getting out of control between the Stack and the Scoop. We'll try and keep up with them. There is a few other little quick bits we'll get to you here in the energy news today before we sign off at the barrel. We're almost 15 minutes into it, and we've only gone through page 2 of the Oklahoman. So if anyone's listening, KGOU, you can get a good idea that we could probably spend an hour a day minimum doing an energy radio talk show, and that's just reading the Oklahoman, not even getting to the Wall Street Journal. So if you start spinning music in with it, we're looking at 2 hours a day minimum. Someone, for the love of Christ, throw me a bone here. I'm eating shoe leather. Now, a few more before we sign off. You have, here is Valero Energy completes another deal. So as you can see in here, deals are getting completed in the patch here. Let's read about Valero here. A 30-mile refined products pipeline. Refined products means products that come from the crude oil after they zip it through the refinery and send it out, which is where the real money's made, kids. And 2 storage areas in Ardmore were part of a $154 million acquisition completed this week by San Antonio-based Valero. So Valero has bought $154 million into Ardmore. That's a nice little gusher. The deal is a drop-down transaction. Don't you love that? With subsidiaries of parent company Valero Energy Wynnewood Product Systems, which connects Valero's Ardmore refinery to a pipeline operated by Magellan Midstream Partners. It is the refinery's primary distribution outlet. Valero Energy Partners also is adding the McKee crude system and the Three Rivers crude system in Texas. So Valero is just pulling it all together, and part of their big overall package is to drop $154 million into Ardmore, Oklahoma, and grab a 30-mile refined products pipeline and 2 storage facilities. So that's sort of a cool thing. We may check in on that. It's not quite as fun as watching Newfield explore for oil and gas, headquartered out of Okarche. But $154 million ain't nothing to sneeze at, so it's a nice little gusher for Ardmore. There's probably a few other... shit, we're out of time. Damn it, we got bipped.